Would I buy this business? Today I'm reviewing a pet grooming business located in Port St. Lucie, Florida. And I'm going to tell you how I evaluate businesses for sale because I've bought businesses in the past. If it's worth the purchase price, should you negotiate the purchase price? How can you cash flow? Is this a good business for you to buy? I review businesses on my page. I tell you how to start businesses. I give you entrepreneur advice. So if you like that type of content, hit like and subscribe, and let's dive into this business right now.
Alrighty, everybody, we have a pet grooming salon for sale. And when I was reviewing this business and running the numbers and running an analysis, I was shocked on how great of an opportunity this is down here in Florida, Port St. Lucie, Florida. And we'll get into these numbers in a second, but they have over 700 clients. They have high-end fixtures. This looks like their actual picture here. I really like the vibe of the business, of how everything looks. It just looks like a very clean facility for the purchase price and the cash flow that you're going to make on this business. Definitely, this is probably the best opportunity that I've reviewed so far. So stay tuned as we go through this. 700 clients, selling her salon. The biggest thing I would ask, and I have this later on, is why are you selling? That's the biggest thing that I ask every owner. Why are you selling? Because that will often tell you what's going on with the business. Last 12 months, she goes through, she sees so many dogs per day, 13 to 15. I always say don't pay attention too much to the description. It's good to know. It's because sometimes they'll share some stuff that you really want to know that you want to avoid going through. But this description is very, very summarized. Nothing really that's going to change my view on if I'm going to buy it or not. Okay, so let's go into the numbers here. So I always break down the purchase price. She's asking $100,000. She has equipment and furniture and fixtures that are valued at $24,000. Looking at her office, that it seems like it's very straight on, and she's not baking in more costs for that. So I would think that furniture and all that, that's great. The goodwill and value, $76,000. That has something to do with the cash flow here. She's really trying to add a little bit more to her purchase price, but I don't know if this is really negotiable because I'm going to go through this in a second. Part of the purchase price is the $2,500 in inventory. It'll tell you right here. It says the star here, the inventory is not included. She's also offering seller financing, which I'll get to in a second. Okay, so asking price $100,000. Let's go through the revenue. Gross revenue $122,810. Your cash flow is $55,400. So her profit margin is 45%. That is great for a retail business. These pet businesses are so profitable. It is insane. So a 45% profit margin is great for her for building this successful business. And let's go into the return on investment. If we were to pay cash, that means we pay $100,000. We do not finance this. We wire her a check. If we do the same amount next year, and we do the same cash flow, we're going to make 55% return on our money, which is really good. That is a really good return on investment. I always say when you buy a business, project if it's still worth buying if this goes down 20% and this goes down 20%. If you can swallow a 20 to 30% reduction because you took over as the owner, there's probably some relationships. If the owner's working into it, working in that business every day, they may want to switch it up. They may start reevaluating if they want to go there since you have taken over, right? 55% per cash ROI. That's great. Let's go into the financing because when you finance this business, I know a lot of people that are like, I don't want to finance, I don't want debt. Let me show you the power of debt with buying this business. Here we go. $22,500 down payment. That's a 20% of the $100,000 plus the inventory. So we got the $22,500. Loan amount is $80,000 on a 10-year term. You want to have the longest term you possibly can to make sure that cash flow exists. 10% interest, get a variable interest rate because rates are probably going to go down in the next 2 to 4 years. Your monthly payment on this note is going to be $1,057. Your monthly cash flow before the loan that she's at right now is $4,617. So we got about $3,500 of cash flow here that we could project that say, hey, even if we lose 20 to 30%, we're still going to cash flow about $2,500 to $3,000, right? So your net profit is going to be $42,716. your ROI on the down payment, because you only put $22,500 down. You paid the loan back with her money that she's already had these relationships, this business is going. So your return on investment is that $42,716. You only put $22,500 down. It's 190% return, which is a great, amazing return. That's why I always tell people, if you buy a business, you will have a higher return if you run it successfully than any other business or any other investment you can make. Businesses, hands down, are the best investment other than random crazy investments that people talk about, like buying a stock at $1 and it goes up to $500. I understand that, but that's still a business, right? But if you buy a business for $22,500, you can make 190% if this business continues to operate. The issue that I have with this business is I want to know right here, does the owner work every day? Okay, so that's the biggest issue with all this. This sounds great, but again, you're only making $42,716. So if you have to be there every day, you can't go make more money anywhere else. It's not passive. It's not really set up. Then that's not really a great money, because that you have an opportunity cost, right? If you spend your time here, you can't spend your time making more money somewhere else. So the biggest opportunity with this business is adding a location. It's just like the franchise model. If she is busting at the seams at this location, we need to add another location so we can get this 42 to 90. Okay, so adding another location, if this is that capacity, that is what you will want to do. Questions I would ask: why are you selling? Most important question you should ask every business owner: why are you selling? Why? If you're running a successful business and you're making great money, are you wanting to retire? Are you sick? Are you moving? Why are you moving? What's going on? You want to understand why they're selling, because if it's not a good reason or a legitimate reason, that means they might be running away from something, catching some money, doing a cash grab, and you're going to be the sucker holding the bag at the end of the day, okay? You also want to know, like I said before, does the owner work every day? Do they have employees? Okay. Do you have an employee? What days of the week do you work? What's going on here? Are we working 40 to 50 hours? Am I the owner? If I'm going to buy a business, I really don't want to buy a business that's going to capture all of my time for this less of a cash flow, the 42,716. If I'm only working, I'm overseeing the employees, maybe coming in 1 hour a day just to make sure everything's running properly, then that's a different story, because then for my time that I'm spending, 42,716 isn't bad, okay? So, do you have employees? Due diligence items. For every business you buy, you should be asking for financial records, profit and loss, balance sheet, income statement. Also, cross-examining those with the bank statements. Her money that's on her financial records from her CPA or from her accountant, or if she does her own accounting, should match the bank statements. It should also match her tax returns. Whatever her profit was that year, which it was up here, 55.4, should be on her tax return. If it's not, you need to ask questions and see why it's not on there, okay? So usually those are shown on the personal tax record, and if she's a different legal structure, it may be on its own tax return, but you definitely need those due diligence items to make sure that there is no fraud involved in transactions, okay? I always say business transactions are kind of weird because they're not standardized. It's like the Wild West, okay? So you want to make sure that, hey, you're going to be your biggest asset with looking over everything. I would also want to meet the owner in person. I want to go look at the salon. I want to understand what she's doing. I want to potentially pay her for a week or two, or maybe even a month, to transition everything, have us meet all the clients and transition it to us so we can make sure that this business is successful. Okay, so you want to have a great transition when you're buying a business, and some owners, you're going to have to pay them for that. And that may dip into your cash flow here, but again, it's going to increase the viability of your business succeeding over time because you're transitioning those relationships. So overall, I believe that this business, if you're located near Port St. Lucie, Florida, or if you say, hey, maybe I'm going to see if potentially I could hire a manager there and make it more of a passive investment. Again, you got to look right here. So if you're going to hire somebody to kind of manage it and have a manager, or you're going to trust an employee, there's a lot of things that go down that road, but I don't know if there's enough cash flow to do that. But if you're located in Port St. Lucie, and you're looking to get a business, this is a really great opportunity from my perspective, from everything that I've reviewed from this listing. Great purchase price. I think she's right on where she needs to be. If not, she could probably be higher, but don't tell her that. So she's at a really good spot. So if you like this type of content, I'm going to be posting every day at 1:15 p.m. something about business, buying a business, businesses for sale, how to start a business, and provide great, meaningful content around entrepreneurship for you so you can get to the next level. Hit like and subscribe. Thanks.